You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the McDonald County Band Program is raising money one mattress at a time.
Also, a man is arrested following the fatal shooting in Carthage, Missouri.
And we have an alert day tomorrow. We have a significant snowstorm on the way. Today is your action day. We'll look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock now on this Monday, February the 17th. So we got a very big situation developing for us tomorrow. We have that snowstorm on the way. We'll cover those details with you here in just a moment, but ahead of the snow, kids that were in school at some point down in Met County doing something pretty cool.
Yes, McDonald County High School Band Program held a fundraiser selling mattresses at a lower discounted price.
KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us the details.
At the end of every night, you most likely end up in the same spot. A good mattress can make the difference between healthy sleep and waking up on the wrong side of the bed.
A lot of people are always looking for a mattress. A lot of people are looking to replace their mattress every few years. So the money is going to help us out because we're obviously fundraising for the band program.
Some fundraisers sell items like cookie dough or trash bags, but after hearing about the mattress sales from other band directors, the band decided to give it a go.
We saw them at a music directors conference, and we decided to just kind of go and give it a try. And it worked for us last year really well. We earned about $5,000 in just one day, so we'll see if we can keep it rolling.
One band student told us about how this way of raising money has impacted their program positively, and how it's helping students pay for a trip to Chicago in April.
It's helped us a lot because for like the big trip, it's expensive in Chicago and we need a lot of money, and like mattresses are expensive. It's like $1,000, and like the scaling of how much we get is a lot if you really think about it. And it's really helpful. Like I'm almost done fundraising, and we need like $1,000 per person, which is a lot, and it's really helpful.
In McDonald County, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Now, apart from helping fund a trip to Chicago, the money raised will also go towards buying and repairing instruments and paying contest fees.
It's certainly an incredible fundraiser. I know they've been doing this for just a little bit, but it's a great idea to be able to do this. And who doesn't enjoy a good night's sleep and helping a good cause? All that you sleep better because not only do you have that nice new mattress, you've also helped a good cause. You will sleep great. And you will sleep wonderful tonight knowing that you shouldn't have anything to do tomorrow other than tune in and watch us freak out about snow, because there's a lot of it on the way.
That's great.
But today you get to freak out about the snow because you need to get some supplies probably. Let's take a look outside. Today's your day to do it. Today is your action day. We are now less than 24 hours from this big snowstorm. Clouds beginning to increase already across the area, and they will continue to do so today. Live look downtown Pittsburgh. Live look, KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue. Expect snow for Tuesday commute. I'm going to tell you right now, expect to not have a Tuesday commute, okay? Just don't. If you don't have to, absolutely do not. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looks good so far. And again, kind of take this in because 24 hours from now, you will probably not be able to see any of these roadways as the snow will come down pretty heavily. Winter storm warnings, again, this is something that changed from last night. It happened about 3:30 or so this morning. The entire region went under the winter storm warnings. And by the way, they stretch all the way up toward Nebraska, down through Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma. It's a big area out there for winter storm warnings. So again, today, your action day. You need to take action, get your plans in place, make sure you've got what you need at the house. If you do, for some reason, like for us, for example, we don't have a choice. We've got to come here to work. If you do have to be out, make sure your car has a survival kit. We've got information on a home survival kit and your car survival kit on our website right now, KOAMnewsnow.com. Just click on the forecast tab or at the top where it says Alert Day. We've got some information in there for you. Today is the day, again, to prepare for that. Partly cloudy to start, then mostly cloudy, and eventually cloudy skies out there. Temperatures will be chilly, a little below normal, but they're going to be warmer than where we're going to be over the next several days, and really where we are right now, of course. We got upper teens to right around 20 degrees, and a light breeze out there has occasionally brought that wind chill down a bit into the single digits. So it does feel a little bit colder this morning, and it's going to feel significantly colder over the next few days. Upper 30s, low 40s for highs today. Clouds increasing. The snow shouldn't get into our area until after midnight tonight. We'll talk about that snow, how much we're expecting, and just how cold it's going to get in the full forecast, and that's right around the corner. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. A man is in custody after a fatal shooting of a 22-year-old in Carthage. Elijah Hardy was located in Galena, Kansas, and taken into custody. He is charged with homicide. Now, the shooting took place in the 300 block of West Vine in Carthage. On scene, first responders performed life-saving measures on a 22-year-old male before he was rushed to Mercy Carthage. However, the young man, whose name has not been disclosed, died from his injuries. Officials from the U.S. are heading to Saudi Arabia for Ukraine-Russia peace talks. Ukrainian President Zelensky claims Ukraine was not invited and warned his country will not accept a deal made without representation during discussions. Meanwhile, President Trump told reporters Sunday Ukraine will be involved in talks, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff was already with Russian President Putin for about 3 hours. Fox News correspondent Alex Hogan has more from London.
Nearly 3 years after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, top U.S. and Russian officials are set to meet in Saudi Arabia for peace talks.
We'll be having meetings at the direction of the president, and hopefully we'll make some really good progress with regard to Russia-Ukraine.
The goal of the meeting is to start conversations about finding a permanent end to the war, but political terms are being kept under wraps.
This can't be ended on the battlefield.
Peace is not a noun, it's a verb, it's an action. You have to take concrete steps towards it.
The meeting comes less than a week after President Trump spoke on the phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and allies are concerned the White House might be offering concessions to the Kremlin.
The President expressed his desire to see an end to this conflict in a way that was enduring and that protected Ukrainian sovereignty. One phone call does not make peace. One phone call does not solve a war as complex as this one.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine was not invited to participate in the discussions and will, quote, never accept a peace deal unless Ukraine is at the table.
There is no any leader in the world who can really make a deal with Putin without us.
Nobody, again, knows Russians more than us. We had rounds and rounds of discussions with them.
Yeah.
And we are defending not just Ukraine, but essentially all the civilized countries from this evil.
Secretary Rubio and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov have already talked about each other's governments working together in the future. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Lori Horton is back in the studio showing us her recipe for mini pies. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Lori has been showing us her recipe for some mini pies. Now, what are the next steps?
Okay, so we got our puff pastry all set in there, and I've got a few just ready to go here. We're going to just fill those next. Very simple, and we can use really any kind of pie filling that you want as long as it's one that's intended to be baked. So you don't want to do like fresh strawberries, something like that.
Yes.
I know everybody probably has their favorites. I'm kind of partial to cherry myself. Some people love the apple. Any of the fruit ones usually are going to be the best.
Fantastic.
But small cookie scoop here, not the giant one today. And this is just a perfect amount to portion that in there fairly neat. It's still going to go where it wants to go as it bakes, but we want to start out with a pretty nice even amount. And one nice generous size can, most of these are pretty standard. We'll do exactly 12 of these. So that's just a little FYI there. And then you're going to just take your fingers with those pieces of that puff pastry and pinch those corners together on both sides. We're just going to make like kind of a little dumpling with that filling. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be tidy. As you can see here.
So there can be, you know, some filling coming out of the sides and things like that.
Absolutely. And you want a little bit of a gap to show because you need a little bit of that steam to escape as it bakes, right?
Perfect.
Then the most expensive ingredient that we've probably used so far, we're going to have 1 egg here. And I'm just going to beat that up a little bit. It's been setting for just a few minutes. And with my little pastry brush, we want to put a little bit of an egg wash on the top of these before they bake. Now, ideally, if your professional would have remembered to grab some grain sugar this morning, we would sprinkle a little bit of that on top. But you know, nobody's perfect. So we will just pretend like we did that, and it will look really pretty as it bakes, and add a little bit of crunch to the top. On the ones that I did yesterday that are apple, I actually put just a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on top.
Always good, yeah.
Always the perfect combination with that apple. But a little bit of the large grain sugar is good on any of our other fruit flavors, and it just gives it that little bit of sparkle to the top, a little bit of crunch as it bakes. And then these go in a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, these were exactly 20 minutes last night, and I just baked these in between our segments. Exactly 20 minutes as well. So with this colder temps outside and this funky humidity, you're usually going to bring that down a little bit. You can always add a couple more minutes if you need to. But what we want to end up with is these really nice golden edges on there.
They look delicious.
And these are just a little bit warm still. They just came out. But you'll see the bottoms will come out really nice and golden. So that's ideal. I have a thing about the bottoms of my goodies. Nobody ever looks at the bottom. You should always flip your cookies and things over and show those to the crowd. That's how you know you did a good job. But if you don't get them sealed up, you can see on my tray here, I've got some that kind of popped open. It doesn't matter, they still taste great. But when we come back, we're gonna do a little bit of a topping for those cherry ones to dress them up a little bit. We'll add some things. We can even throw a little Cool Whip or ice cream in with those. Is a perfect combination.
All right, Lori, thanks. We'll stick around, we'll be right back. Lori has been showing us her recipe for mini pies, and we're on the last few steps. So what's next, Lori?
Last few steps is just that little final topping. You know, you guys know I can't ever leave anything well enough alone. So these are great just as they come out of the oven. You can absolutely just serve them up like that. They're great to serve warm. They do bake up quickly, and in the cupcake containers, you can have multiple pans ready to go. So if you're doing this for, you know, a little party or anything, it's pretty easy to have them rolling out of the oven and actually be able to serve warm. But as they set for just a little bit, those final touches, as I mentioned on the apple, I actually put a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on top before I baked them. And then this one, as you can see, it cuts so nicely. You get a perfect little distribution of that hunk of pie filling. I drizzled just a little bit of caramel, like ice cream topping on there, and just for that little added touch. But for the cherry, we're gonna make a little glaze here. And all I did was add a little powdered sugar and some heavy whipping cream to my bowl. And I just splashed in a touch of almond extract, because anytime we do cherry, almond is always a really good mixture with that. But a little goes a long way. So a tiny little splash there, and just get it to a nice consistency where it will pour. So a little bit of powdered sugar, and then just kind of add that whipping cream until you get the consistency that you want. And then while these are just a little bit warm, we're gonna drizzle a little bit of that over the top. And again, with the cherry, it's not that it's not sweet enough, but we want to add just a little bit extra. And I think a good visual here is, you had asked me about the difference in the pastry, and we talked earlier about using the frozen puff pastry dough versus the refrigerated. And you can really see on my two ones here, the ones that I made last night, I did with the frozen puff pastry, and the ones I did this morning are with the refrigerated. And this just puffs up a little bit more.
The other one looks a little more dense.
Exactly. It's a little bit thicker. It's just a little bit more dense. It still tastes delicious. It's got a really flaky texture, but you get a little more lightness, I think, from the refrigerated, and it's a little easier to work with because you don't have to deal with that thawing process with it. So it's just personal preference, and you can make that from scratch. You know, we've got some time on our hands coming up the next couple days, right? So absolutely do that. But we're just going to drizzle a little bit of that glaze on our cherry ones here. Don't go overboard, because again, a little goes a long ways. They are already sweet, but that just adds that little bit of dressing to the top. And again, exactly, it kind of is, and it gets that little bit of almond flavor in there, which is just the perfect mixture with the cherry. But of course, you know, the blueberry topping, you know, any of your pie fillings are going to go well with that. About that same size scoop, and you can even do these in the mini cupcake pans.
Oh, sure.
They'll bake a little bit less. Obviously, lay your pastry on there and cut your squares the same so that they pinch up evenly, but really no difference except for just the size, and of what you put in there. So you can kind of customize these a little bit, more kid-sized treats that way.
Absolutely, how fun. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Lori, as always. We'll, of course, have this recipe later on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:22 on this Monday morning. I saw Tuesday up there, and that's what I'm thinking of. We have an alert day for tomorrow. Today is your action day because you will not be able to get out and take care of any business tomorrow. I mean, you could certainly try, but I'm strongly encouraging you not to hit the roads tomorrow unless it's an absolute emergency. High risk in terms of winter weather impacts from the snow, the cold, and the wind, and all of it ties in together. We'll have heavy snow. This system looks to be the most snow we've received in 14 years. This is going to go back to the Valentine's Day snowstorm in 2011. These totals are going to be very close to that, if not a little higher in some cases. We have dangerously cold temperatures to contend with and wind chills on top of that. And then, of course, that's the wind. We'll have gusty winds, which could, in turn with the snow, lead to reduced visibilities from blowing snow, as this snow could be very heavy at times as we head through Tuesday. Winter storm warnings, the entire region through Wednesday morning. This has changed since early this morning when they were spread across the entire area. They stretch across a huge portion of the area, going all the way up to Nebraska, down through Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. On top of that, cold weather advisories in this dark blue and in this blue color here. These are extreme cold warnings. And what we're again dealing with is wind chills and temperatures well below zero, dangerously cold temperatures over the next few days. Today, if there's anything that you need to get done, okay, if you know that there's going to be no reason for you to get out tomorrow, today's your day to get stuff. Get supplies, get whatever you may need. Additionally, if you do have to be out tomorrow, for example, our crew here at the station, we have to be here tomorrow to do our jobs. I know some of you don't have a choice. You have to go to work. Make sure you've got a kit in your car on the off chance that you become stranded somewhere. Today, though, we'll have clouds increasing, temperatures below normal, but not bad. It'll be chilly for sure. And thankfully, the winds will be a light breeze out of the east, so we're not dealing with significant wind chills today. Clouds increase through the evening, and overnight snow chances start building in after midnight, and we'll continue to see this snow spread across the area as we head through Tuesday. It will continue. It will be heavy at times. Northeast winds will be gusting upwards of 25, maybe 30 miles an hour. Temperatures will have early highs that are decent, and then they'll start to fall through the day as we go through Tuesday. So here we are at noon, and temperatures continue to fall through the afternoon and evening hours across the area. And the snow, we are now 12, 13, 14, 15 hours in, and it's still coming down. We're talking maybe upwards of a 18 to 20 hour event of snow, which is why we're looking at so much snow on the order of anywhere at this point from 10 to 20 inches, depending on where you are. I guarantee you these numbers will change a bit, and unfortunately, some of these will probably go up, and Doug Hetty will have the latest for you this evening, but it's this zone right through here that's going to have the heaviest snowfall amounts, but all of us dealing with significant snow. And you folks at home know it does not take a lot of snow to cause serious problems around the area, and this is going to be a lot of snow. So again, unless it's an absolute emergency or you just simply have no choice, don't go out tomorrow. Schools, I'm sure a number of them already are planning to cancel for tomorrow. They just haven't said anything just yet. But those school districts who maybe use those morning road conditions as an assessment, you may be in an area where the snow hasn't started yet. Don't use those morning conditions as an assessment of sending kids to school, because I absolutely guarantee you, especially in the central core, you will not be able to get those kids back home in the afternoon. So just be smart. I know you will. I know the districts are on it. Just go ahead and cancel tomorrow. It is not going to be safe to travel for anybody. Today, upper teens to start, upper 20s by 11. Partly cloudy skies initially before the clouds do begin to increase out there. Upper 30s, low 40s today. So again, cool but not bad. Teens tonight, upper teens, low 20s for most of us tomorrow with that alert day. Heavy snow, winds, temperatures falling through the day. 0, if not below 0 overnight. Upper single digits, low teens on Wednesday. A few flurries, well below 0 Wednesday night into Thursday. Another cold day Thursday into Friday. We probably won't see any real melting take place until we get into the weekend. But then, because this is the 4 states, look at what happens a week from the time we get all this snow. We got highs pushing close to 60 degrees. And it wouldn't be the 4 states without something like that, right? Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
State's most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Noe. Well, investigation is ongoing after reports of gunfire on West 5th Street in Joplin early Saturday morning. Witnesses downtown say countless rounds were fired, one saying they heard more than 15. Officers in the area also reported hearing the gunshots on scene. Joplin police officers gathered shell casings around the intersection of 5th and Joplin Avenue. The police were unable to locate the suspects, although they were described as two males dressed in all black. Police did not find any evidence of injury. Bullet holes were located in nearby vehicles. Officers are now in the process of gathering video camera footage. Well, 2 people are injured after a house fire in Sarcoxie, Missouri. Firefighters battled what was reported as a 2-story structure with flames. Firefighters also had to deal with tough conditions with slick roads and a wind chill of 2 degrees. The house was deemed a total loss. No firefighters were reported as injured. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, members of Alpha Gamma Delta's Epsilon and Kappa chapter volunteered at Southeast Kansas Humane Society. The sorority sisters did tasks like make puppy pads, walk dogs, play with puppies, and the Humane Society's new 3-legged cat named Captain Hook. The event is a part of Alpha Gamma Delta's National Week of Service.
I really just like getting to spend time with my sisters while also doing good for the community. It makes me feel good to give back to the community in various ways, whether that's with people, with animals. It's just a very good, diverse experience that we all get to experience together.
The Epsilon Kappa chapter also volunteered at the Lord's Diner and the Salvation Army. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
We have an alert day as we head into Tuesday for the snowstorm that is on the way. I mean, that's really the only way we're going to describe it. There's no sugarcoating this. We've got a snowstorm on the way. Right now, though, we're looking great. Downtown Pittsburgh, we're all right. It is cold out there, but roads are clear. If there's things you need to get done, today is your action day to do that. KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh on 69 looks good as well. And, of course, MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline Joplin, looking back to the east, looks pretty good. Take in these shots. Like I said, by this time tomorrow, it is very likely we will not be able to see these roadways. Winter storm warnings, the entire area until Wednesday morning. Slightly varying expiration times on Wednesday, but they will continue through Wednesday morning. They stretch from Wichita back down into the boot heel of Missouri and western parts of Tennessee, northern Arkansas, northeastern Oklahoma, and all the way as far north as Topeka, Lawrence, Kansas City. It's a big storm out there. So this, again, is your action day. Make sure you've got what you need. Today's your day to do it. Now, it doesn't mean getting a boxing match with somebody at Walmart over the bread. It does mean, though, just get out there, make sure you've got what you need, because you may not be able to get out of your house for the next couple of days. In fact, and I'm going to tell you how seriously we're taking it. Folks here at the station, our morning crew, this will be starting in the morning tomorrow. We're preparing to possibly be stuck here and be with you for 24 or 36 hours straight. So we'll see how this all pans out. Today, though, again, clouds increasing, mostly cloudy skies, upper 30s, low 40s out there, and a light east breeze. So now's the time again to get out, do what you need to do. Temperatures right now very cold. Upper teens to right around 20, and we've got that easterly wind, so it does make it feel a little cold. It feels like 2 in Stockton, so you definitely want to bundle up if you're heading out this morning. But again, this morning, your time to do that. Upper 30s, low 40s, as I mentioned later today, clouds increasing, and snow rolls in after midnight. We'll go over the details on the snowstorm, what we're expecting, and the dangerous cold that goes along with it here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We'll hear a few tips to help keep your pet's teeth healthy. Welcome back. We have Nicole Watson and Paul Trevorrow with us this morning with an opportunity to help support the Medical Loan Closet in Joplin. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Nicole and Paul, happy to have you. So talk to me a little bit. Now, Nicole, you're from the Medical Loan Closet, and Paul, you're with the Joplin Interfaith Coalition. So for those who might not know, Paul, talk to me about what the Joplin Interfaith Coalition is.
Joplin Interfaith Coalition formed actually about a year after the tornado. We came together to have an interfaith service to commemorate the tornado, and then we realized that there were more possibilities here. we wanted to learn about each other's religions. We also realized that we had a common interest in making Joplin the most welcoming, caring, prosperous community it could be. And differences in beliefs and practices don't matter there. And so we have a wide variety of religious organizations there. I'm from the United Hebrew Congregation of the Synagogue. We have the Islamic Society of Joplin, several Christian churches, including Sojourners Christian Church, Peace Lutheran Church, Baha'i of Newton County, Grace Baptist Church, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormons. So as you can see, it's a wide variety of faiths that all have common interest in learning about each other's religions, and again, about making Joplin the best community it can be.
Fantastic. And so you're coming together to have an annual bake sale that supports the medical loan closet.
Yes.
And now Nicole talked to me about the medical loan closet, not only what it does for people in the community, but how this bake sale helps benefit those people as well.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So the loan closet is something, I am a nurse, and so I learned that people didn't always qualify per their insurance for things that they needed to recover well at home. And I also knew that there were people throwing things away or didn't know what to do with that stuff. So I just created this ministry where we accept equipment from people who don't know what to do with it, and we give it to people who need it. And so it's grown very significantly. I started it 5 years ago.
Wow.
And so it's a huge benefit because we don't have any monthly contributors to keep us going operationally. So this will be a huge win to be able to have that money to be able to continue growing. We just recently moved into almost a little over 2,000 square foot building. So, and we have a lot of people from Pittsburgh, a lot of people from Kansas, all of over 4 states come to get medical equipment and donate.
Fantastic. So this event, this annual bake sale, is this Saturday. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yes.
Where is it? Tell me a little bit about the event and just where people can find more information about it.
Yes. That is at 1805 West 32nd at the Islamic Society of Joplin. Should be plenty of parking there, plenty of room, an incredible variety of foods from all over the world. I know from my synagogue, we're going to be preparing some Jewish foods such as challah, the Sabbath bread, rugelach, cream cheese pastry, latkes, potato pancakes. I'm going to be making some hamantashen, which is for a holiday a little bit later. That's filled, one of them filled with poppy seeds, one with raspberry jam. And then we're also going to offer a lunch for those who are interested, soup and sandwich for $15, and you have your choice for the soup of chicken or lentil soup, and for the sandwich, falafel, made with chickpeas, or turkey.
All right, sounds fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We'll, of course, have all the details on our website, komnewsnow.com. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 on this Monday morning. We are starting with what we have incoming tomorrow, which is a very serious and significant winter storm. All right, you folks at home, you know it doesn't take much more than 6 inches of snow or so to really slow things down, if not stop things for a day or two in the 4 states. We're talking much more snow than that for the majority of us. So you've got to take this seriously. Imagine if we were able to see severe weather and exactly where it was going to hit really in advance. You'd take that very seriously. You need to take severe winter weather the same way. We have a high impact from the snow, the cold, and the wind, and then you put all of these together and we get the wind. The wind leads to the cold, which we're talking dangerously cold wind chills and temperatures well below zero, especially overnight, which then leads to blowing snow, and the snow could be heavy at times tomorrow, which will result in reduced visibilities throughout the day as well. So this is 3 really solid reasons that unless you absolutely have to be out tomorrow, don't. I cannot stress that enough. I really can't stress enough. If you don't have to be out tomorrow, don't. There are folks like us, and I know there are others out there where you've got to still go to work, and it's going to be tough, and you need to plan for that. You need to take it easy, and you've got to have a winter weather kit in your vehicle, which we have information on those on our website, komnewsnow.com. Just click on the latest forecast. We have a graphic on there telling you what you should include. We got winter storm warnings through Wednesday morning across the entire region now. They stretch again back from Topeka through Wichita, down into around the Tulsa area, northern Arkansas, western Tennessee, the Boot Heel of Missouri, and just south of St. Louis, but then up toward Kansas City. This is a significant area. This dark blue, cold weather advisory, this blue, extreme cold warning, and that is that reminder that it is going to be dangerously cold. In fact, since they changed this whole system here, this is the first extreme cold warning we've had. We've had the cold weather advisories, but not that. And we are talking again, serious situation here. Today is your action day. What that means is today is the day for you to get out and do what you need to do and get done what you need to get done. All right, without boxing with the neighbors, you need to just get to the store, get your supplies, make sure you're ready to go. We'll have clouds increasing through the day today. Otherwise, we're dry. After midnight, the snow begins to roll in, and it is going to start to roll in very quickly, and it will start to come down in a very heavy fashion very quickly, which is why I know schools have probably already planned to cancel for tomorrow, but for those who maybe for some reason you use the morning road conditions as your guide, you can't do that this time. Okay, because you may be able to get a bus to school in the morning tomorrow. You're not going to be getting it home, okay? So just plan on not doing this because this snow will last at least 18 hours, if not a little longer. We'll have very heavy snow. We'll have the temperatures falling. I'm giving you 100 reasons where you shouldn't be outside unless you absolutely have to. It starts as early as 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Here we are at 5 in the evening, and we've still got a fair amount of snow coming down. This lasts through about 10 o'clock at night before the last of it gets out of here. And then we've got the dangerous cold to contend with back behind that. In terms of the snow, quick check of that. We're looking at anywhere from potentially, let's say, upwards of 10 to 20 inches of snow. Doug will have more information on those snow totals tonight because after speaking with him and looking at the data, there's a chance they're going to go up just a bit more over the next few hours. But one way or the other, we've got this belt of really heavy snow. But again, even outside that, even when you're only getting 8 inches, as we mentioned, it doesn't take much more than 6 to really shut the area down. And all of us are at least going to be greater than that. So that's 100 different reasons to stay home tomorrow. Don't be out unless you absolutely have to. Upper teens to start, upper 20s by 11 a.m. today. Partly cloudy skies through the morning like we're seeing. Clouds increase though, mostly cloudy today. Upper 30s, low 40s tomorrow. Upper teens, low 20s for most of us. Early day highs on our alert day Tuesday. Temperatures falling through the day. Dangerously cold through at least Friday morning before we start to see an opportunity to warm up, maybe get some melting done, and a week from this snowstorm coming in, we may have spring-like conditions near 60 degrees because that's the 4 states. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Lise now with Consumer Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, retail sales take a nosedive according to new government data. The Commerce Department says retail sales dropped almost a full % in January, the farthest drop in about 2 years. The cold temperatures, California's wildfires, and shortages in the auto industry may have contributed to the slowdown. Now, despite the retail sales decline, numbers revealed that spending at restaurants, bars, and department stores stayed positive last month. New USDA Secretary Brooke Rawlings says fixing the country's chicken and egg crisis will be a top priority. Collins says she's already had briefings to work on fixing the shortage of chickens and eggs. Now that's hit the country with bird flu. Possible new steps for the department could include more research and even prevention, such as vaccinating birds. The USDA predicts prices increases as much as 20% this year before the flu is curtailed. And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Well, February marks National Pet Dental Health Month, which veterinarians say goes beyond just checking for bad breath.
Fox News correspondent Chanley Painter has more.
Brushing your teeth regularly may be a common practice for most people, but veterinarians warn it's just as important for your pets as well. Studies show 80% of dogs and 70% of cats have dental disease, which is even worse for older pets and smaller dog breeds.
That statistic actually makes it the #1 health issue impacting our pets.
Veterinarians like Danielle Bernal with Wellness Pet Company Global are warning of dental diseases this February during Pet Dental Health Month to prevent serious health risk in the future.
Long term, if left untreated, this is when bacteria from their mouth can enter their bloodstream and cause systemic health issues.
When it comes to keeping up with your pet's dental hygiene, going to the vet once a year is likely not enough.
We have to look after them every single day. So this is where, when it comes to our pets, we encourage pet parents to try and brush their teeth.
Wellness Pet Company estimates only 2% of dog owners brush their pets' teeth, even as veterinarians recommend daily brushing. Bernal says there are alternatives to cleaning with a toothbrush.
What I encourage for dogs is something like an edible toothbrush, which in essence becomes a dental chew.
There are also ways for cat owners to improve their pets' dental hygiene.
There's porous treats for them that'll also work as that edible toothbrush. And the best part is that when you do this every day, it keeps their teeth healthy.
Bernal says there is no better time than now to start taking care of your pet's teeth and making sure they stay happy and healthy. I'm Chandler Painter, Fox News.
Certainly something a lot of folks probably don't think about is the dental health of their pets. They figure, it takes care of itself. It does not.
No.
Very important.
Yes.
Very important information for you as well in terms of our winter storm tomorrow. Let's take a look at the winter storm warnings, which if you, for any reason, are very late joining us here on the show, they are for everybody now, and they will run through Wednesday morning across the region. We also have cold weather advisories and extreme cold warnings as we head through Thursday in most cases, because we're talking dangerously cold temperatures, highs only in the single digits and teens, wind chills below zero, well below zero, and lows below zero as well in some cases over the next about 48 to 72 hours. Today is your action day. If you need to get out, need to get something done, today's your last real good day to do it. We are less than 24 hours away from the start of this whole thing. Clouds increasing today, otherwise dry. We're going to be all right. After midnight, snow begins to move in, and it will continue, and it will come down heavy at times. On top of that, we'll have gusty northeast winds, and that's going to result in blowing snow, which will lead to reduced visibilities and, of course, dangerously cold wind chills as our temperatures fall throughout the day Tuesday. This snow beginning as early as 2 a.m. Tuesday and running through as late as 10 or 11 o'clock Tuesday evening. So a lot to keep an eye on and a number of reasons to just simply stay home tomorrow. We'll have one more look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Elijah Hardy is in custody after the fatal shooting of a 22-year-old man in Carthage. The shooting took place in the 300 block of West Vine in Carthage. Despite life-saving measures from first responders, the young man died from his injuries. Hardy was tracked to Galena, Kansas, and taken into custody. He is now charged with homicide. Well, Joplin police are investigating reports of gunfire on West 5th Street in Joplin early Saturday morning. Police and witnesses say at least more than 15 rounds were counted. Shell casings were collected around the intersection of 5th and Joplin Avenue. No one was injured, but bullet holes were located in nearby vehicles. Police were unable to locate the suspects, but they were described as two males dressed in all black. And two people are injured after a house fire in Sarcoxie, Missouri. Firefighters not only had to battle the flames of a two-story home, but slick roads and bitterly cold temperatures. The house was deemed a total loss. No firefighters were reported as injured.
Snow arrives after midnight tonight. Totals at this point could be anywhere from 10 to upwards of 20 inches. And Doug Heddy, of course, will have the latest on these totals this evening. Some of these could go up tonight or later this afternoon, rather, as well, with the heaviest band roughly in this zone here. Winter storm warnings across the entire area. Cold weather advisories, extreme cold warnings out there as well, because we'll be dealing with that. Temperatures falling through the day tomorrow. Alert day, heavy snow, gusty northeast winds, and dangerously cold temperatures through at least Thursday, possibly into Friday morning, and then we'll have an opportunity to warm up. And it wouldn't be the four states without this. I'm serious. A week from this snowstorm, the heaviest snow we've seen in 14 years, we could be near 60 degrees.
Ugh. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, people wrap around the block as Watered Gardens Ministries held its grand opening for its new marketplace on 220 West 2nd in Joplin. The marketplace, while being a thrift store, also functions as an employment program for guests and partners of the ministry.
Music and snacks were available for people to enjoy while they shopped Saturday. The ministry's workshop goods will also be on sale at the market. Certainly an excellent, good cause there. Again, we'll have all the latest closings as they come in probably late this evening into tomorrow. Do not be out on the roads if you do not have to. And there's a good chance you may see us all day tomorrow, depending on how much we get. Until then, we'll see you back here at noon today.
Have a great rest of your morning.